Welcome back. We are just days away from marking 24 years since the September 11th attacks. And marking this somber anniversary is the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. And joining us now from New York to speak about how the museum is going to be marking 24 years is Beth Hillman. She is the museum's president and CEO. Beth, good morning to you. Can you start off by just kind of running us through generally what the museum's plans are here in the coming days as we reflect on 24 years?
Our mission is to commemorate what happened on 9/11 and remember the people who were killed, the impact on their families and their community, educate people about what happened, and inspire an end to hatred and intolerance. But this next week, we're really focused on that commemorative part. We turn over the Memorial Plaza, which is normally open to the public every day of the year, to 9/11 families. And family members will be the only ones with the mic. They will read aloud the names of their loved ones who were killed. And now, 24 years later, often the family members who are reading those names aloud are next generation members of those families affected. Sometimes people who didn't know their grandparents, sometimes their parents who were killed, and their other family members. So it's a really powerful moment where we modeled the unity that brought the country together after 9/11, and we also have a chance for multi-generations of 9/11 families affected to really focus on remembering what happened. The elected officials who come to join us, and there are many, they don't have a speaking role that day. It's only family members.
That is certainly very special. I want to talk more about that younger generation that you mentioned who weren't even born yet when this happened in 2001. How, you've been at the museum and the memorial site for some time now. How do those younger Americans respond when they visit? Does it hit home with them? Do they have an understanding of just how significant of a day that was in American history?
Well, visiting the museum is definitely the most powerful way to encounter this history, and they do have a response. They find themselves in the stories that we tell. With nearly 3,000 victims of terrorism that day, there is a story that connects to every person who comes to the museum, including the young people who visit us. I also want to note there are a lot of them. 100 million Americans are too young to remember, and many of them don't get to our museum. For those students and for those teachers who tell us they want to teach about 9/11, but they sometimes lack the materials that they need in order to teach about it effectively, we have free educational resources. Every year on the anniversary, we publish eyewitness accounts in a film that's produced new every year. If you go to 911memorial.org/DLE, Digital Learning Experience, you can sign up for that for free. We've had 5 million students watch that video and engage with their teachers, their parents, their communities around this. We aim to reach 20 million students by the 25th anniversary.
Wow, that is certainly a destination I wish all schools could prioritize going. You also, really quickly, Beth, have a program called the 9/11 Memorial Museum Visionary Network. What is that?
That's another part of the next generation that you talked about, actually. The Visionary Network are young leaders who are interested in helping make people aware of what happened on 9/11, also to enable them to engage in their communities and actually make a difference, feel like they're giving back because of all the service that was inspired by 9/11. People became educators, firefighters, service members. They decided to become leaders in their communities and to serve because of the sacrifice and service that occurred on and after 9/11.
Such important work you guys are doing there. Beth Hillman with the 9/11 Memorial Museum, thank you so much for your time. We'll be watching next week when you guys really commemorate this. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
All right. It is